My childhood was magical. I believed in the elves and the fairies, and I loved every animal that I met. My best friend was Mr. Terwilliger, a beautiful, magical white rabbit. We played a lot in my bedroom and we shared secrets. Everything was so alive and real. And then my mother died of colon cancer when I was only 6 years old. On the day I learned my mom died, I asked to be with my rabbits because they could help me cope. Animals are one of God's greatest gifts to the world, and they support us with emotional strength and unconditional love.
Xanadu was my first dog. She was a Rottweiler, and she always guarded me. I was her little baby. She was always there for me.
I had a dog in Australia where I used to live called Texas, and that dog loved my mother.
I just remember the love for my cats when I was growing up, especially my cat that would ride around with me in the car. And I had to go away from home to go to college, and I left her at home because I couldn't take her to the dorm. And when I went away to college, she left. And when I came home, she appeared at the doorstep about 2 or 3 days before I came home. She knew I was coming home. I don't know how she knew.
A lot of my life was spent looking for that magic lost when my mom and rabbits died. And then one day, an African gray parrot came into my life and turned it upside down. This is Maggie Wright, and she changed my life. She brought the magic back into my life. I remember when I first got her, she was so helpless, and I wanted to be with her all the time.
There's this incredible bond between people and birds that I've never felt before, and it kind of is life-changing.
I remember when Merlin first spoke. She was playing on a rod and fell, and I caught her, and she said, "Thank you." How does she know that?
They're so intelligent. They do so many things. They talk. They know what they're saying.
I've got 3 macaws, and each one of them will go, "Hi, hi, hi," because they know we're supposed to be quiet in the morning and not wake everybody up.
Living with African gray parrots opened my mind and eyes to see the intelligence of all of the animals. I learned when you see animals as individuals instead of grouping them, it opens up your heart and you can have more compassion for them.
And sometimes I think we become too civilized and we live in our little houses and we forget that we're part of this big connection and that everything is connected, that we're part of all life.
I wrote a book, Bringing Back the Magic, to help readers open their minds and their hearts to see the intelligence of all of the animals in nature. It's a memoir. It's about my life's journey that taught me to see the individuality of nature and all her critters.
Her whole life story and where she's come from and where she's going touched me.
Her loss at age 6 of her mother, and how animals, rabbits, birds, helped her survive and nurture her.
Very emotional, hard life, but it kind of gives us hope.
I really loved how it made me feel because it reminded me of the connection that I had, and it reminded me of how very special it is.
If you suffered emotional pain in childhood, if you love animals and other critters of nature, you will identify with Bringing Back the Magic. It's a book that's written from the heart. It's about how animals and nature can bring the magic back into our lives. Check it out. Please check it out.